be screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to Cypherfics. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the 8th part of What If Ichigo Joins Pokemon? Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of Strange and kind 634 of them on fanfiction.net. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. And with our heroes. While moving back, Ichigo and the kids were happy at the turn of event with Ducklet and Absol. When Ducklet went missing after we treated its wounds, I got worried, but after seeing that it was okay, there really was no need to worry. Tilda Leaf happily said to them. You're right, I feel a weight has been being lifted off me. Gary pulled out his thought. Ichigo smiled at the two and turned to see Ash stopping on his track. Ash? What's wrong? Ichigo asked the boy who was pulling his shirt down hard. Yeah, Ash, why did you stop all of a sudden? Gary raised his brow at his friend. Gee guys, I got a problem. Ash trembled with a flustered look while still pulling down his shirt like he was trying to hide something. Ichigo then moved closer. Ash, what is it now? Come on, tell me. Ash then slowly pulled back his shirt to its normal position. A shocked expression formed on Ichigo's face. Leaf and Gary, seeing Ichigo froze, moved closer. What is I? Gary stopped on his track after seeing it. Leaf then got curious and moved. Hey, I want to see too. And after looking, she stopped. Ahahaha. Leaf and Gary then started laughed really hard on the ground after seeing that Ash pee on his pants. Ash's face turned really red. It's not funny, Ash shouted at them before he turned to his brother. Brother, do something. Ichigo scratched his head. It's your fault, Ash. You were the one who left the bathroom in such a hurry. The two kids keep laughing harder. Click. Huh? Ash turned to see Leaf taking a photo. Leaf, where did you get that camera? Ash yelled out, embarrassed, while trying to grab the camera that Leaf is holding up high. Ahahaha. Charmeleon looked at them confusedly. What am I gonna do? Ash desperately cried while kneeling down. Ichigo then thought of something. Let's go back first. Maybe we find something for you to change into. Ash then stands up and looked at him. But I can't go all the way there. Look at me. That only made Leaf and Gary laughing harder. After a few more minutes, they decided to go to her mother's side, but with some repercussion as Ash moved with Ichigo. Leaf and Gary surrounding him, hiding him from view. Ash, why did you have to be such an idiot? Gary sighed. Hey, I don't always do this, Ash retorted. He didn't deny being idiot, was the thought that went through Ichigo, Leaf and Gary heads. Then the four decided to go the adults to fix this problem. I see. Well, you shouldn't be embarrassed, Ash. It's only natural. Professor Oak turned to the boy with a hearty smile. Yeah, Ash, even Gary still does stuff like that. Ha ha ha, Daisy added while giggling. That stopped Gary, who is laughing. Sis, that wasn't really necessary. Gary cried out at her older sister while Daisy just rubbed the boy's hair. Leaf giggles at her friends. Come on, dear, I brought extra clothing. Delia guided her son to the bathroom with a kind smile. Oh, and let's not forget, Delia pointed out. What is it, Mom? The boy asked curiously while walking. Delia pulled out something and showed it to him. Your underwear, of course. Mom, they could hear the boy embarrassed yelling. After a while, the two came back and finally they all settled down, and before you know it, the hours passed away momentarily. Now, with the airplane landing in Miss Strolton City, the group then exited out of the airport with the kids getting excited. Wow! Leaf and Ash awed at the city and different types of Pokemon which they have never seen before. Gary too looked amazed but didn't want to show it. How do you kids like it? Delia smiled at the kids' expression. It's amazing, Ash and Leaf responded. Then you kids are going to love it more. At where we're going, Daisy winks at them. Yay, Ash and Leaf. Also Gary somehow joined the two. Ichigo, on the other hand, was trembling not from excitement, but anger. Why do I have to do this every time? Ichigo yelled out the last part while carrying their entire luggage. But no one answered him, or they just ignored him. Char. Why should I? Char, Leon. Of course I want to help, but not all the time. Ichigo at the moment is having an annoying conversation with his partner. Professor and Mr. Mime then simultaneously put on sunglasses along with their summer dress. Okay, first thing first, we have to remember that our vacation is on Nimbasa City. Not here, Professor Oak said to them with a hearty smile. Then Mr. Mime, while carrying a tour guide of Unova, guided them to the nearest bus station to Nimbasa, Mr. Mime. And before you know it, the group is now sitting on the bus heading to Nimbasa City. Guys, look, Ash pointed at Swanna and another Pokemon he's never seen before. Okay, let me check the Pokedex, Ichigo thought while trying to pull it out of his pocket. Where is it? I know I put it on my pocket. Ichigo checked his entire body. Swanna, the beautiful swan Pokemon. Despite their elegant appearance, they can flap their wings strongly and fly for 1,000 miles. Ichigo turned to the kids, specifically at Leaf, who is holding his Pokedex. Leaf, Ichigo gave her a blank look. Heh, Leaf just sticks out her tongue giggling. Ichigo shook his head at the kids' playfulness. Come to think of it, I hope Ducklet reached safely, Ash mumbles while remembering Ducklet. Ichigo looked at the down kid. Of course, he made it safely, Ash. Really? Ichigo smiled at Ash's kind-hearted soul. I hope you never change, Ash, Ichigo inwardly thought. Ichigo nodded, which made Ash finally back to his old self. Yes, so don't worry, Ichigo rubbed the boy's hair. I guess you're right. Gary, while looking outside, sees something unusual. What is that? He looked up to the sky and see that dark clouds seemed to form in the horizon. Gary, what is it? Professor Oak asked his grandson. Gramps, look at those strange clouds. The professor pulled down his sunglasses and look, you're right, they are strange. But after a while, the dark clouds slowly disappear. That put the professor in confusion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally arrived to Nimbasa City. Please be careful while stepping out and thank you for riding our tour bus, the female tour guide announced to the passengers. The group then got out with Ichigo carrying their luggage again. I think it's time we carry our own things. Ichigo deserve a rest. Delia turned to them. Thank you, Ichigo breathes out, and finally they reached the entrance to the city. Nimbasa City. The only thing that went through Ichigo and Gary minds was fancy. Wowee, Leaf awed at the city and pulled out her Pokemon Teddiursa. Look Ted, we finally made it. Teddy-eye? Ash got really excited and jumped. Let's Jiak, Ichigo pulled the boy's shirt. Stop right there, Ash. We don't want to get lost again, do we? Ichigo looked at the boy with a stern gaze. Hee, Ash just scratched his cheek. Ash, you shouldn't head off on your own. We need to check into the hotel first, and then you can have your fun, okay? Delia chided her son. Okay, Mom, Ash accepted. Later, they reached the hotel with the girls taking a room beside the room taken by the three males. Wow, this bed is so bouncy. Ash bounces on his bed beside Ichigo's. I think that should do it. Ichigo finished unpacking. This city is really something, isn't it? Professor Oak looked out from the room's window. I know, right? Ash, too amazed at the city. Yeah, it says here that Nimbasa is the most populous city in Unova and the second world most popular city only behind Lumious City and Kalos. It also says that Nimbasa is the heart of leisure and entertainment, whatever that means. Gary read a pamphlet he received on entering the city. Ash stops his jumps before giving him a dull look. When Gary saw the look Ash was giving him, a tick mark appeared on his head. What heck are you looking at me like that? Gary glared at his rival. Nerd, after the word came out. Gary gripped tightly on the pamphlet before he strangles Ash on the neck. Take that back. Ichigo, on the other hand, just ignored the two and pulled out his necklace that he had indirectly received from Arceus, a key. Charmeleon just looked at his friend with a sad look. Brother, what is that? Ash, that had somehow escaped Gary, looked at the necklace shaped like key with weird design. Ichigo turned to his brother. It's nothing, just an accessory. Ash confusedly tilted his head. Anyway, let's go explore. Ash then dragged out both Ichigo and Gary with Charmeleon following. Ash, it's getting late, looked at the time. Ichigo showed him the time. So what? It's just for a few minutes. Ash keep dragging the two. Gary and Ichigo sighed at the boy's stubbornness. And after a few minutes they found themselves inside the Nimbasa Park. I guess there's not much people here. Ash looked around the park with streetlights on. Of course not, it's already getting late, Gary shouted at his ears. Ash ignored him and runs off. Wait, Ash, Gary too quickly followed. Ichigo and Charmeleon, too tired, just watched the two disappeared into the park, those kids. The 12-year-old boy tiredly mumbled. Char char. I know, let go before Ash creates mayhem for himself. Charmeleon then follow him. Tilda music play Carly Rae Jepsen call me maybe. On another part of the park, okay to all the young boys and girls, our annual junior model showcase begins again, a man announced to them. Yeah. All the people and kids teens gather around the front of the small stadium use for a small performance or other things. This competition has been organized every year for all those who are starting in the path to being a model. The general rule known for the contest is, any girl who reach the requirement height and age can participate. Well, enough of that, so let's begin. First, we have Ella from Castelia City. Then a girl that looked to be around 15 walked out to the long catwalk with a tight blue glitter dress that seems to show out her curve and most importantly how beautiful the dress is. I hope you vote for me. She smiles and winks at the crowd, making the girls scream and the boys with heart in their eyes. Then she walked back. Don't vote just yet because another beauty is coming, and this one has come from another region, Stacy from Sinnoh. Then came out another girl with blonde hair wearing yet another beautiful dress that is black that seems to show out her beautiful light green eyes and her smile. Hi, nice to meet you. She waved her hand slowly before she walked back, making the crowd of teens screaming. And the show goes on with different girls coming out having different reaction from crowd, which were mostly good reaction. Now for our final participant, and is from our very own city, who is also in fact the daughter of our #1 model, making her debut into the world of fashion, Elisa. A girl with a lemon blonde hair comes out with her hair in a ponytail, wearing a beautiful light yellow gown dress that reached to her thigh that complemented her curve as well as her beautiful light teal blue eyes. Seeing the beauty and the brightness the girl was expressing made the crowd go crazy. Kaya. With a confident smile, she walks perfectly to the catwalk and the crowds gets wilder with photos taken of her. This is my first time, but I hope you can see my brilliant glow. Then she winks to the crowd, putting a finger on her lips before giving the crowd a kiss. The girl screams at her as always and the boys, well, they fainted. After she elegantly walked back to the main stage, we seen the beautiful girls did their part of the show. Now it's your turn to vote for our winner, so start voting. And then crowds started picking their favorite. PHSSS, Elisa, one of the participants whispered to the lemon blonde hair girl. After this, let's go to your place, the girl suggested. Elisa then think before giving them an apologetic expression, sorry, but I have other plans. Come on Elisa, another girl pleaded. Come on Elisa, what is more important than hanging out with your friends? One of the girls raised a brow to her. The girl's words seems to perked up the lemon blonde girl's attention. Well, after you said that, I guess I could take a rain check. The girl smiled inward at the mention of being friends, but also sighed, sorry grand. Yay, the girls quietly cheered. And then the announcer moved to the center of the stage. It seems like you all have finished, then let's get to the winner. And the scoreboard on the side of the stage begins flipping with each girl face on it. Drum roll please. The participants were getting nervous. I bet Casey will win it again, one of the girls nodded. And the girl named Casey, also the one who suggested Elisa to hang out in her house, bashfully smiles. Oh come on girls. I bet Elisa here will win this after her performance, she winked at the girl. Elisa shook her head. I don't think so, I'm just a newbie remember. Then scoreboard finally stopped one by one. Ella with 200 points. The girl smiled at the crowd. Stacy with 210 points. Casey with 290 points. The crowd goes wild again. See, I told you, one of the girls began murmuring. Casey, the girl with highest points, grab on to the other girls. Maybe next time one of you girls will beat me, heh. Her personality turned a bit with an arrogant smile. Elisa wasn't sad, no, she was happy that her friends were having a great time. She never had friends and seeing some other than her family made her feel with joy, yeah. And finally, last but not least Elisa, oh my. That didn't make the girl react, as she will be happy even if she didn't win. With 320 points, our new young star wins the show. That snapped all the girls on the stage at Elisa winning, and the girl two eyes widened me. "Would the winner please come to the middle of the stage?" the announcer called out. Casey and the girls were still shocked at the new girl, also youngest of them, winning. "What? That's impossible," one of the girls whispered to each other. Casey, on the other hand, looked at the lemon blonde hair girl with jealousy. "How? I was supposed to win, not her." Elisa, still dumbstruck, walked to the middle of the stage. Then she was presented with a bouquet of red roses and a tiara on her head. "Let's have our winner say something about her winning." Tilda music slowly stops. Tilda. "Huh? A show? They're sure." Making a lot of noise, Ichigo in his search for the two boys finds a show that he wasn't really interested. Ichigo then sees boys around his age screaming a girl's name. Shesh. A sweat drop appeared on his head. Elisa then looked to the crowd with a confident smile. Maybe it was because of an instinct, who knows. "Everyone, thank you. It was surprising at first, but after this I've decided to pursue the role of a model. So prepare to be awestruck at the brightness I will exhilarate." And the crowd goes wild again. Elisa was ecstatic at the revelation of the show. She never had the courage to say such a thing while standing in front of a large crowd like now, but something switched inside at the prospect of being noticed during the course of the show. Maybe it was because of being a daughter of a famous model or something else. "I'm getting too tired for this," Ichigo sighed to himself after hearing the winner's proclamation. "She's cute, almost as cute as that Cynthia girl." Hollow, for the first time in a while, spoke up. "You do?" Ichigo had a question marked on his head. "You don't? Are you gay?" A tick mark appeared on Ichigo's head. "Shut up, and where were you?" Hollow just stay quiet again. Sigh. I don't even want to ask anymore. Ichigo tiredly turned his head back to the show, wondering if Ash and Gary were there. Elisa, while waving to the crowd, looked around, and before you know it, brown eyes met blue eyes. And then Ichigo yawned before he just left the place with an uninteresting look. Strange, Elisa thought at Ichigo, seeing that he was the only one who wasn't cheering or looking mildly interested at the show or her. "Guess I'll just have to do better." She gripped her hand and smiled while looking upward. And from the sideline of the stage, "She must have cheated," the other girls keep whispering her behind her back. After a few minutes, the show stopped with different people from the crowd took pictures with the winner of the show. "Thank you so much, Elisa." One of her new fans cheered at her. "You're welcome," Elisa smiled. Elisa then walked towards her new friends that she believed. "Hey guys, it was really surprising that I won, but whatever. Let's go to my house like we planned, okay?" she happily said to them. But the girls didn't even acknowledge her presence. "What do you mean, it doesn't get well?" Fine. Then like who's going to pay?" They keep ignoring her. "You guys," Elisa tried to call out to them. Casey then turned to her, finding it annoying. "Oh, Elisa, we didn't see you there," the girl, being the oldest, spoke up. Elisa frowned, turned upside down at finally being noticed. "Then let's go to my house," she said with a chipper voice. But that was shot down immediately. "Sorry, but Casey decided to use her place instead," one of the girls told her with a side glare, which the new star model didn't notice. "Oh," she dejectedly looked down. Before an idea came to her head. "How about I join too?" she suggested eagerly. "Sorry, Elisa, but Casey's house is at the outer part of the city, so we didn't think you can make it." Elisa nodded sadly. "Okay, I still have plans. Maybe we can hang out tomorrow at the mall," she again suggested. "Can't this girl take a hint?" Casey thought harshly. "Sorry, I'm a bit low on cash," she tells her, making more excuse. "Oh, don't worry, I can pay for you girls," Elisa tells them, which surprised them before they huddle up. "Girls, what should we do? If she can pay, I won't mind." They began to whisper to each other. "I don't believe her." "Yeah, like she could pay." "Wait, we got to remember that her parents are fifthly rich with their running business. Maybe we could," Casey explains to them. Elisa looked confusedly at the girls. "Elisa," the girl jumped, a bit surprised. "Yes?" "We decided that it would be really fun to hang out with you tomorrow," one of the girls quickly tells her before getting elbow on the side. "Oh, what was that for?" "You're too blunt, she might figure it out." "Really, that's great." Elisa didn't realize anything and accepted their answer. This kid really gullible, Casey smirked inward. Well, see you tomorrow at 10 am, Kay? Casey and the girls waved her goodbye and walked away. Goo. Yeah, this is so amazing. Not able to find the strength to resist her excitement, Elisa started jumping and doing weird poses. She jumps one last time and turned, I'm gone huh? She finds the same orange hair boy who was on the back of the crowd looking at her with a weird look. Silence continues to fill the air with Alyssa's head steaming up with redness of embarrassment. Before anything could happen more, Ichigo turns around with Charmeleon and walked away. Wait! Alyssa jumped towards him and tackled him to the ground. Owlf! Crash! Oh! Ichigo yelled out at being pushed down on the ground. Please, you can't tell anyone, Alyssa pleaded on the back of the boy embarrassingly. Ichigo struggled from the weight on his back and the pain he now feeling on his back. Then, get off of me, Ichigo yelled from the ground. Elisa then realized what she was doing, eh? Sorry, she jumps back up and apologies again to the boy. Ichigo got up and brushed himself from the dust covering his pants. It's all right, but please, don't ever do that again. Ichigo looked at the girl and realized. Wait, aren't you the winner of the show that just happened a moment ago? Then something switched inside the girl. Yes, I am, and you must be that dull orange hair boy who doesn't understand the brilliance that I had expressed. She gleamed her eyes at him. Huh? Ichigo dumbly looked at her personality turning upside down. Don't worry, I'll guide you out of the darkness of ignorance and ignite your world with brilliance. She twirls and poses into what a professional model would do and winks at him with a beautiful smile. A normal boy would blush at the cuteness the girl is showing. A healthy boy would splutter with a huge blush on his face, but Ichigo isn't either of that because, well, he's dense to this kind of things. Well, good luck on whatever you're doing. Ichigo turned again and walked away again with Charmeleon following him. Elisa just stared at him with a dumb face, eh? Char, Charmeleon pointed his claws at him. What do you mean I'm been rude to her? Charmeleon shook his head. Well, I'm sorry that I'm not a gentleman. Then Ichigo felt being pulled on his arm. Huh? What is it now? Ichigo turned to the girl. Elisa looked at Ichigo with a confused and strange look. You're really strange, Ichigo scowled at her. Realizing her words, sorry for my poor choice of word, the girl backed up. Ichigo scowled stick and he sighed, what do you want? Feeling that she is making him agitated, she cut to the chase. Please don't take offense to this, but you're quite different than the people I have met, especially the boys. Different? Ichigo got more confused at her. Maybe I'm just rambling. Anyway, my name is Alyssa Kamacher. It's nice to meet you. She gave him a beautiful smile. Ichigo didn't know what to do, so he just goes with the flow. Well, my name's Ichigo, and his scowl loosened up. And no, my hair is not dye. If you were wondering, Ichigo snapped the girl out of her trance as she was looking at his hair a bit too long. Sorry for my rude gesture. It's just that I have never seen such a dazzling and brilliant color on someone. She compliments him, but Ichigo didn't take it as one. A tick mark appeared on his head. Is this girl for real? Ichigo trembled with anger at her comment. Seeing the scowl again on his face, Elisa tried to think of a way to calm him down before she just bow at him. I'm sorry. Ichigo now again confused with the girl's behavior. I'm really sorry. I'm not really a social type of person and she kept apologizing. Ichigo scratched his head at the rambling girl before he pulled her head up. Okay, stop that. Elisa looked at him with a strange look. But you're right about that one act. Charmeleon just pinched his side. What was that for? Charmeleon looked at him intensely. Ichigo then knew what his Pokemon was trying to tell him. But I guess it's okay. He turned back to her. Elisa slowly nods and blinks. Now, tell me why you keep stopping me. Ichigo folded his arms at her. Elisa then composed herself in a better mood. Again, I am sorry, but the reason why I stop you is because... Could you not? She mumbles the last part. Ichigo couldn't hear her, so move his head a little close, seeing that the girl is an inch shorter. I can't hear you. What did you say? Elisa then cleared out her throat. I mean, could you please not speak a word about what happened a moment ago? She scrunched her head. Ichigo just turned around in response. I don't remember you doing anything embarrassing. He then walked away, and this time for good, leaving behind a confused girl until she figures out what he meant. Thanks, she whispered. Ichigo then walked around again trying to find the kids. Where the hell did those two go? It's getting pretty late. Ichigo turned and looked at the park watch, which is now 7 p.m. After a few minutes of more walking, Ichigo then heard the boys, "Hey, what was that for?" "Ash?" Ichigo thought before moving closer to the voice. Ichigo turned to the sidewalk of the park and found Gary on the ground and Ash helping him up, but with some extra company. "What are they doing?" "Okay, kid, apologies," one of the girls standing before them yelled at the two. "Me? You should be the one apologizing. You pushed my friend on the ground," Ash lashed back at the older girls. Gary had some tears on his eyes from the bruise he received from his fall. The girls start getting agitated at the boy. "Respect your elders, brat." One of the girls pull up her hand and try to give Ash a slap. "Huh?" Before she could hit the boy, she felt her hand being grabbed. She turned to see a orange hair boy with a mean look in his eyes. "What are you doing?" Ichigo glared at her. The girl paled before she backed up from him. The glare he was giving them froze them on their place. "Well?" Ichigo's scowl deepens. "Who are you?" The girl take another step back, frightened by Ichigo's sudden appearance. "Brother!" Ash exclaimed. Gary too was surprised at Ichigo's sudden appearance. Charmeleon then moved by Ichigo's side, or he too glares at the girls. "What do you think you were doing, picking on little kids?" Ichigo snapped at the girls. "Hey, I'm not little," Ash retorted. The girls were getting more frightened of him. It's not our fault. Those kids spill coffee on my shoes," one of the girls explained. "And was that a good reason to hit a child?" Ichigo snapped at the girls. The girls didn't know what to do. Then a voice out of nowhere came. "Ichigo?" They all turned to see Alessa had entered the area. "What are you all doing?" Then the girls quickly runs to her side. "Alessa." The lemon blonde hair girl blinked confused at the sudden appearance of her friends. "Casey?" "Girls." They all stood behind her and then point at Ichigo. "Alessa, do you know him?" Alessa replied, "Well, I do, kinda." "Then stop him. He was bullying us." "Yeah, because of them we're gonna be late." Hearing the accusations, Ash quickly moved in front of Ichigo. "What? That's a lie." Ash couldn't believe at the gale of the girls lying about his brother. "Ichigo, is that true?" Elisa confusedly looked at Ichigo. Ichigo, too angry, just glare at the girls. "What am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. I want to believe the girls, but I don't think Ichigo is that kind of person. Even thought I just met him a few minutes ago." "Who? What should I do?" Elisa struggles with her thoughts. Then Casey, the leader of the girls, then say again, "They're lying, Elisa. Who are you gonna believe? Your friends or a bunch of strangers?" Elisa was happy that they call her a friend again, but also confused at the moment. Ash and Gary anger began to rise inside at the girl words. Charmeleon looked up to his trainer at what he will do. Ichigo scowled deepen. "Come on girls, let's go to my place," Elisa decided. Alessa then walked past Ichigo and the two kids while whispering to Ichigo, "I'm sorry." "Right." The girls then follow her and gave Ichigo and the kids a smug look. Ichigo's scowl slowly faded and he just sighed. Ash turned to follow them, but Ichigo stopped him. "Ash, stop." The boy turned to him with confuse and anger. "Why? They just bad-mouthed you," Ash shouted. Ichigo shook his head. "It's not worth it." Ash then furiously shook his head. "No, I can't let it slide. They just say something bad about you." And I sniffed. Tears started to form on his eyes. Ichigo smiled at the boy and kneeled down beside him. They sniff asterisk. The boy kept whimpering while Ichigo slowly embraced him. "It's okay. I really don't care. As long you're alright." Ash starts hiccuping. Ichigo then turned to Gary. "You too, Gary. Are you alright?" Gary nodded relief. "Yeah, it wasn't much." Ichigo then stand back up. "Okay, you two, let's head back. It's getting late," Ichigo tells the two. Ash then quickly stands up remembering something. "Wait, I got something to do first." Ash wiped his tears then pick up something he had dropped when one of the girls pushed Gary. "What do you mean?" Ichigo asked. Later, we find the three beside an old lady who is sitting on one of the park benches. "Thank you, young man." The old lady who was sipping on hot coffee Ash had brought her. "Not problem, but sorry that I brought only half of it. I kinda spill a bit, haha." Ash scratched his head. Gary just shook his head. "I'm sorry, ma'am. We'll try to get another." The old lady shook her head with a smile. "No, it's fine. Even if it is only half, I can see that you two did your best trying to get it for me, so I'm really happy." Ash and Gary then turned to each other before smiling. Now figuring out the reason why he couldn't find the two kids, Ichigo just smiled at the two boys' action. So this was the reason, Ichigo thought to himself. And you are? The old lady looked at Ichigo. Ichigo then quickly turned and introduced himself, but before he could say anything, "He's my big brother," Ash happily tells to her. The elder lady, I smile. "I see. I hope you take good care of this too. Good boys like them are hard to come by." Ash and Gary happily blush at her compliment. "I know," Ichigo rubbed the two kids' hair. "Anyway, Miss Ella, I was wondering what you are doing out here in the freezing cold," Gary asked her. Ash too had been wondering it. "Yeah, wouldn't it be better to stay inside?" Ash then rubbed his hands, feeling a bit chilling. Then Miss Ella looks downward. "I made a promise with my granddaughter to meet her here after a show she is participating." Miss Ella sadly smiles for some reason. "Then where is she?" "She doesn't seem to be polite keeping you waiting here," Gary scoffs. "Gary," Ichigo smacked the boy's head. "Oh, what? I was just saying." "It's all right, she does tend to act like that," Miss Ella chuckled. Ash felt sad for her. Then another maybe great idea came to him. "Then we'll stay here with you," he declared, surprising her. Ash then covered his head ready for another smack from his brother or Gary, but he didn't felt anything. Ash turned to the two. "I'll let it slide this time," Ichigo gives the boy a go. "This is the first time you actually said something I can agree," Gary smirks at his rival. "Are you sure? Won't your parents be worried?" Happy she was, but couldn't just take their help, knowing it would cause problem for them. "Don't worry, I already told them we'll be late." Ichigo lazily put back a extra transceiver he had gotten from Daisy into his pocket. "You kids, thank you." Then Charmeleon sat beside her, warming her. "Oh, is this your little friend?" Miss Ella gently rubbed the fire type's head. "Char." "Yeah, he's really nice." Ash too sat beside the old lady. Keeping the kind old lady company, the three with Charmeleon keep having conversation with her, and time seems to pass by quickly, and after another hour left. "She's sure taking her time." Ash kicks his legs playfully while sitting on the bench. Gary seems to be a bit pissed off. "I knew it." Ichigo looked at the time and see that it was already 8:35 p.m. "I don't think she's coming, ma'am." But she didn't respond. "Ma'am?" "Miss Ella." But she didn't respond as her eyes were close. "Is she asleep?" Ash curiously touches her hands before he quickly turned to his brother. Her hands. "It's freezing." Quickly moving beside her, Ichigo check her breathing. "This isn't good. We need to do something." Her breathing is getting slower and slower. The temperature out here isn't helping either. "What do we do?" Gary panicked with Charmeleon. "How about we get her to the hospital?" Ash suggested. Gary turned to him. "Ash, this isn't the—" "Actually, that's a great idea." Ichigo then tried to wake her up. Miss Ella," he kept repeating until she wakes up. "Og, huh?" "Miss Ella, we need to get you to the hospital," Ichigo explained to her with a deep concerned look inside. The old lady slowly shook her head. "No, I can't. My granddaughter, I have to wait for her." Ichigo gritted his teeth in frustration. "It's getting too late. You need to get to a warmer place." Ichigo tried to convince her. "I have—" Before she could finish, she fall into unconscious. "Miss Ella!" Ash and Gary shouted. Ichigo then quickly pulled her up and put her on his back. "Do you two know where the hospital is?" "We can't waste time trying to find one." Ichigo, with a serious expression, asked the two boys, who shook their dejectedly. Ichigo grunts, frustrated at the situation. Charmeleon ears perk a bit and turned at a tree. Then suddenly a figure jumps out of the tree's chair. The three boys turned to see that it was an Absol, not just any Absol, but also the very same one they saw inside the airplane. "Absol." Ash looked at it. The Pokemon then gesture his head to the side. "Sol." Ichigo raise a brow before he nods. "Okay, let's go." "Huh? What do you mean?" Gary asked. Gary didn't know what to do in this kind of situation. He's still a boy learning, and right now confusion was the only thing he was feeling. Ichigo quickly followed Absol with Ash and Charmeleon from behind. "Come on, Gary. Maybe Absol knows where the hospital is." Ash gestured his rival to follow. Hoping to get there in time, they quickly move, following the mysterious Pokemon that sought to help them. While on another place of the city, inside a big luxurious house of a certain lemon-hair girl, we find her and her so-called friend having a party with some extra that Elisa's friends invited. "This is so fun. one of the girls danced with the others while playing music. I know, right, one of the girls replied. Alyssa just sit back on a seat looking at the girls that are having fun. So, do you girls usually do this kind of stuff? One of the girls dancing smirked at her. Yeah, come on, join the party. They pull the girl up from her seat and making her dance with them. Alyssa slowly began to groove to the music. This feeling, this sensation, this excitement. I have never felt such wondrous feeling, Alyssa thought to herself while dancing to the tune with the other girls. Alyssa, where are your parents anyway? One of the girls asked. Yeah, like we would need to scram before they find out about this. Alyssa stopped jumping, then shook her head. No, my mom and dad are really busy, so they don't usually come home. Sadness fills her voice before she got again grabbed by the other girls and they continued dancing. So, that's the winner of the competition, eh? A kinda handsome guy with dark brown hair looking the same age as Casey leered at Alyssa while sitting beside his girlfriend Casey, the friend of Alyssa. Her win was a fluke. I'll win next time. The guy kept looking at Alyssa and just ignores his girlfriend. Derek, the dude turned to his girlfriend. What is it, Casey? The girl huff and look at him. Stop looking at her and start looking at me. The guy just smirk at his girlfriend's jealousy before kissing her. Alyssa then looked at all the friends she made and how happy they were in her house. A sense of happiness fill inside her. This is the best day ever. She felt like she forget something really important, but having too much fun she just ignore it. Grand, I'm really happy that you're here with me. Oh dear, I'm happy that you're here too. Heh, promise me that you'll always be there. Of course, it's a promise, my little star. Slowly opening one eye after the other, at first blinking before her vision slowly became clearer. Aruga, where am I? Miss Ella finds herself in a confusing state. Looking around, she finds herself in what seemed to be a room with white ceiling and also finding herself wearing a hospital's patient gown. The hospital? She thought to herself and looked to her side and found two boys sleeping before a flash of memory came to her. Oh, Miss Ella, you already awake? Ichigo, who just came into the room, asked her. Yes, what time is it? The elder lady tiredly asked the boy without looking at his direction. It's 8 a.m. in the morning, ma'am. The elderly woman then turned to Ichigo, a young boy with orange hair holding a cup of tea, and beside him a black charmeleon with a scarlet color scarf on its neck. Ma'am, do you remember anything what happened last night? The woman gave a single nod and closed her eyes. Yes, but I'm a little hazy. Did you three boys brought me here? Ichigo nodded and sat beside the sleeping two kids. Yeah, we couldn't just leave you there in the cold. Finding about their kind actions, the older woman breathes out softly. Ella then gave him a smile. I am really grateful for what you've done. You three have done so much for old women like me. Ichigo scratched his cheek with a small smile on his face. It wouldn't says it was only us. We had help moving you here. That elicited a questionable look from her. Really? Someone other than you three boys? Ichigo then carefully wiped the drools falling of Ash's face. Yeah, it was a particularly strange Pokemon. After it showed us the way to the hospital, it just disappeared. The elder woman again just breathes out with a relaxing breath. I see, and I'm really sorry. The women turned to the three kids. Ichigo blinks at her words. For what? Asked the confused orange hair boy. I caused the three of you so much trouble, from keeping me company in the cold night to carrying me all the way here. The elder woman apologized to the boys, knowing that she had caused so much trouble for the three she couldn't help but feel guilty. Ichigo almost felt pity for the kind old woman, seeing that she had spent the cold night waiting for someone who didn't turn up, and now saying an unnecessary apology. Ma'am, I don't think that's necessary. We made up our mind to help you, he told her while trying to shake the kids up. The elder women I smile at Ichigo's word. You know, you have such a kind heart. I would have loved to see my granddaughter be friends with such a nice young lad like you. Ichigo gripped his hand tightly at what she said. Why isn't she get angry? Why doesn't she get mad at the person responsible for what is happening? Ichigo thought, getting angrier but trying to hide it so that it wouldn't make her uncomfortable. Stop it, I can't get angry. It's still none of my business, Ichigo concluded inside his mind. Calming down, Ichigo then asked, Ma'am, do you have any relatives other than your granddaughter to call? The old lady nods. I do, but they're both away on a business trip. The two won't be come back until tomorrow, she told him as if it wasn't anything to worry about. You Ash and Gary yawned, finally awake before the two rubbed their drowsy eyes. Miss Ella. The two shouts and move to the elder women, asking her a dozen of questions about her health and if she is okay. Now, stop it you two, I'm fine. The elder women smiled at the two boys. Are you sure? Ash asked with a concerned tone. I am, she assures them. But honestly, I can't believe that you two would be worried about an old woman whom you just met last night. That's not true, you're not just any old women. You're the kindest old women, Ash declares before he got smacked on the head by Gary. Hey, what was that for? You idiot, think before you talk, Gary tried to lecture him but ended up with the two fighting. Charmeleon shook his head at the two usual behaviors. Then Ichigo stops the two. Stop it you two, there's a sick person in the room. The two kids then pulls away from each other. Sorry. Ha 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 ha. They turn to see Miss Ella laughing happily at the three. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry, but in all my years I have never seen three younglings having such a close bond before, she continues laughing. The three boys and Pokemon slowly began laughing with her. After another hour pass, Ichigo got a call from Miss Delia saying that he can stay and help the old lady, but the two kids must come back. Wah, but I want to stay and help out, Ash whines at Ichigo. Me too, Gary added. Ichigo folded his arms. Sorry you two, but both Daisy and Mrs. Delia wants you two to return back to the hotel, and you know how those two get when you're both not around. A chill flowed down their spines. Fine. The two accepted. Okay Gary, you know the way back, right? Ichigo asked. The brown hair boy nodded. And Ash, no more taking detours, Ichigo tells the raven hair kid who grumbles. The two kids then say their goodbye to the elder lady and parted from the hospital. Thank you, but shouldn't you go back too? Ella asked Ichigo, who is peeling an apple for her. It's fine, I'll stay until someone you know comes. Ichigo then gives her a piece, making her smile. Charmeleon too stay and was playing checkers with the old lady, which they had found inside the room. A few blocks away from the hospital asterisk. Asterisk huff asterisk asterisk huff asterisk. Breathing heavily while running as fast as she could. Huff huff. This wasn't supposed to happen. Huff, with a small trail of tears slowly falling down her cheeks. Pushing past the crowds of people and Pokemon getting in her way, Elisa keeps on running after getting a call from the Nimbasa hospital. Some minutes earlier, it was already morning in the Kamacher residence when the party finished and all of them went home to their respective home. That was a blast, Elisa. It was the best party ever. They told her while going outside. It wasn't half bad. The girl named Casey tells the girl, which Elisa taking it as a positive compliment. Oh, and don't forget about today. Elisa nodded before getting excited. I won't. We're going to have an excruciating day. Then they all left with Derek. Aka Casey's boyfriend winks at Elisa, who didn't even see it, but his girlfriend sure did. Ring, ring, ring. The phone in the kitchen kept ringing. Who could it be? The girl walked to the kitchen. Hello, this is the Kamacher residence. She picked it up and answered. This is from the Nimbasa City Hospital. Are you by any chance Elisa Katsimir? Yes, she got confused at bit receiving a call from the hospital. Is Elena Kamacher your grandmother? Yes, she is. A dread feeling swells up after hearing her grandmother's name. We have some bad news. Elisa didn't like it one bit. Yes. Last night your grandmother was admitted. And the person speaking on the other side of the line continues, and the girl had a horrified expression on her face with her other hand on her lips. So could you come and sign some papers? Dropping the phone, the girl quickly sprints out of the house and run towards the direction of the hospital. Hello? Hello, miss? Present time. Crossing the street quickly, the girl couldn't think about anything other than her grandmother. Knowing something bad might have happened to her grandmother. Why? She felt so helpless, so useless, she admitted herself. This is the worst day ever. Finally reaching the hospital and quickly entering, she went up to the counter where a nurse was standing, also surprising her. Can you tell me where Ella Kamacher is staying? She quickly asked the nurse, who just blinks at her before checking the computer about recent admitted patient. Hold on a minute, let me check. Patiently waiting, Elisa catch her breath, but her tears never stop, and seeing the tears falling down, the nurse felt bad for her and quickened her search. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll be fine. Alessa just rubbed her tears away and nodded *sniff*. Found it. Elisa's attention perked up. Ella Camacher, admitted last night, and right now staying on room no. D1. Alyssa runs towards the upper building after hearing the number but, no, wrong number, sorry, it's room no. D12. Ah, hello. Where did she go? I hope she heard what I said. The nurse put down her glasses as her eyes wasn't too good. Later. This is the wrong room. Elisa slammed her hand hard on the brick wall while ignoring the throbbing pain. Did the nurse lie? Did I not hear it right? Her mind was having a meltdown. After a few minutes later, the girl kept searching for the room where her grandmother is admitted while looking on the name tags at each room. Getting frustrated, the girl bit her lips. Camacher? A very familiar voice called out to her from behind. Turning around, Elisa see the person who called out to her and also the person who she didn't want to face right now after what had happened to them. Are you okay? Ichigo asked, confused that the girl she met last night is here and also in fact crying right now. Oh Ichigo, what a coincidence running into you here, hehe. She nervously laughed, trying to hide her emotions. Ichigo raised a brow. Yay, are you crying? Wiping her tears away, the girl turned around, making him face her back. Of course not. You must be imagining things. Ichigo strangely looked at the girl. Here he was getting 2 cups of green tea for Miss Ella, but now finding himself in another troublesome situation. I got to move. I don't want to be dragged into another stupid situation, he thought to himself. Turning around, Ichigo began to move. Well, if you say so, bye. Walking away, Ichigo then sighed relief before he felt his shirt being pulled. Wait, she yelled out, surprising him. So close, Ichigo grumbled at his luck before turning around. Planning to say he was in a hurry and can't talk, Ichigo turned, but things didn't go as he planned. Well, when he turned to face a crying girl, and he can't help but felt bad for her. Dang it. Signing, okay, what's the problem? He asked. Elisa avoided looking up at him as she knows that he's taller than her. Could you please help me? She whispered while trying to stop her tears. Ichigo rubbed his head at the forming headache. Camacher, you need to speak up. Ichigo used her surname again. Some of the guys and girls around saw the pretty girl when she entered and could help but gush at the cuteness she was showing, and her crying didn't even bother them as it only made her more adorable. They want to help her, but they couldn't as she was too pretty to approach. But when Ichigo entered the picture, they glare at his harsh words. Stupid orange bastard. Damn, carrot hair. Orange brute. They whispered at the boy with piercing eyes. But unfortunately for them, Ichigo heard it all before giving them a side death glared and making them all scurry away. While running away, one of them shouted, Walking orange. A tick mark appeared on his head. If Elisa wasn't in front of him, he would have chased down the one who shouted the last remarked, Could you help me find a certain room? Ichigo turned back his attention to her. A room? Yes, the girl nodded while her tears seemed to slowly stop. Someone you know is here? Ichigo now understand why she is here, but still didn't know why she would cry all the way out here. The girl nodded again but kept her down. Then do you know where this person is? A room no. Anything? She shook her head in negative, seeing that it would take hours to find it. Sorry, but it would take hours to find I. New tears began to fall down her cheeks again after hearing what Ichigo was saying, also stopping Ichigo from finishing his sentence. Sniff. Ichigo panicked now, seeing that it was his fault that she is crying. Wait, stop, Ichigo paused and thought, I'm going to really hate myself for this. And he continued, Help. So please stop crying. Ichigo tried to quell her crying. Elisa sniffed again and this time looked up. Really? Ichigo looked at her and slumped down in defeat. Yes, I'll help you. Elisa wasn't too sure and felt guilty. Ichigo, if it's too much for you, I can do it on my own. I don't want to cause you any trouble. Say yes and walk away. His guts kept telling. No, Ichigo tells her. You orange idiot. Even his gut is yelling at him. It's fine, but first I have to bring this back to someone. Ichigo holds up 2 cups of green bottle and she nodded again, too exhausted to respond. Ichigo then pulls out a pack of tissue from his pocket and handed it to her. Yes, he has tissue on him thanks to Daisy and Delia hygienic obsession. Here, use this to clean yourself up. Elisa hesitantly takes it while feeling an unknown warmth swelling up inside her at his kind gestures. Thanks. Then the two begin to walk, or in their case Ichigo taking the lead and Elisa following from behind. I'll just put the tea and then help her, Ichigo concluded in his mind while he carefully holds the green teas. Elisa was busy slowly wiping her tears away and the fade lipstick on her lips, which her friends applied it on her from the party last night. She then looked up to Ichigo. Ichigo. Huh? I'm sorry, which elicited a question looked from Ichigo. I'm sorry for blowing you off last night at the park. Elisa couldn't hold the guilt anymore. Last night? Oh, that did happen. Remembering what happened, Ichigo said it as if it was nothing. Elisa now confused. Aren't you angry? Should I? Ichigo inquired. But she couldn't understanding him. She couldn't see his point. Anyone would be angry or mad, but he's different, she thought. Besides, no one got hurt, right? She nodded at the truth. Then there's nothing to be angry about, except those girls being a total bitch. He scowled at his last sentence. Heh, softly giggling, Elisa felt warm, not physically, because this was the first time she had a normal conversation other than her grandmother, and also finding his scowl funny. Ichigo's scowl softened a bit when she giggled. Good, she stopped crying. Ichigo thought relief. A pleasant silence fills the air between them. Finally reaching the room, the two enter. Oh, Ichigo, you're back, Ella said to the boy while she is playing checkers with Charmeleon, and Ichigo put the tea down beside the old woman. Yay, it was kind of hard to find green tea here, and I got sidetracked a bit, sorry. No, it's you I should be thanking. Ichigo then gestured Elisa to sit, who is frozen stiff at seeing the old women. And who might this be? Ella asked as she couldn't see clearly without her spectacle, which is right beside her. Putting on her glasses, Ella quickly recognized the person standing beside Ichigo. Elisa? Snapping the girl out of her state, she looked down and gripped her hands tightly. Dear, are you okay? The girl couldn't take it no more and jumps on to the old lady's lap, grand, also pushing Charmeleon down on the ground with the checkers board. Thud. Charmeleon, Ichigo quickly moved beside the black lizard that got knocked out from falling on his head. Ella and Ichigo looked surprised at the girl's sudden action. Dear, are you okay? The old woman asked her. The girl kept crying at her lap. No, I'm not. Ella then slowly strokes the girl's hair. It's okay, dear, your grandmother is here for you. That only made the girl crying more intense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about last night, sniff, I'm sorry, because of me, hic. The girl hitched a breath in between words. Ichigo looked confused at the situation. I don't get. Ella kept listening to her granddaughter's words and turned to Ichigo. She's my granddaughter, whom I had been telling you about. Ichigo then understands not wanting to get in the family problem. He just helped the knockout Charmeleon onto the seats available inside the room. Hic. Elisa then slowly looked up to her grandmother. I'm sorry, waiting for harsh words from her. Elisa knew that she would be in trouble after her actions had led to her grandmother being here. But she did not expect the next words coming out of her grandmother's mouth. Good heavens, dear, what happened to you? Your hair, your face, have you been crying? She asked the girl worriedly. But aren't you? Elisa was stopped on her track by her grandmother. Come now, sit on the side of the bed and let me fix you up. We amateur women aren't supposed to be in such a state. Ichigo and Elisa felt the strictness in her words, and Elisa complied at her words. Elisa remembers that her grandmother in her youth was a professional model as well as an expert makeup artist. After all, the amateur line is a long line of professional fashion artists. Now dear, tell me what's wrong. Ella carefully pulled down the girl's ponytail hair. Yes, here her hair isn't short. Yet while pulling out a crimson beautiful comb out from her neatly gray hair and began to clean up the girl from the mess that is her hair. Finally calming down from the soft caring way her grandmother was combing her hair. Elisa then began to tell her all about what had happened and how sorry she is for not meeting her as well as forgetting to tell her. So that's how you know Ichigo. Ella raised a brow at the way her granddaughter met the boy. Yeah, it was the most pleasant way, but that's how it happened. Elisa smiled to herself at remembering Ichigo's weird and kind gesture. Ichigo too listened but didn't make any comment and just stay quiet. Maybe she isn't that bad like I thought she would be. Ella then tells her what had happened to her last night as well as how she had met Ichigo and the two kids, also Charmeleon. Seeing that the two were having such a nice moment, Ichigo decided to go out seeing that everything was okay and also carrying out Charmeleon. And that's how I met the three nice lads. She then began to clean her granddaughter's face, which were covering in a bit messy makeup blush. And dear, why would you ever use this much product? I told you before, you be better with only a small quantity, or even without it, you'll still be gorgeous. Alessa then remember how she got them. I know, grand, but I had a party with my friends back home and the girls had an idea to give each other makeovers. She happily explained to her remember how fun she had, also forgetting that it was because of it that her grandmother is in these situation. Seeing the happy expression on her face, Ella smiled. It seems that you had fun. Yes, it was exhilarating. I had so much fun. And she stopped and lowered her head. Dear, Ella looked at the girl. And because of it, you're in this situation. Her excitement a moment ago flushed down the drain, and now remembering why she's here. Ella just stroked the girl hair again, trying to calm her down. It's okay, I'm not angry. And after a few minutes of calm silence inside the room, the two then let go of each other. I seems that Ichigo had already left. Ella looked at the stop where he had sat. I guess I'll thank him next time. Alyssa then looked at the mirror inside the room. You're really amazing, grand. My hair looks exquisite. The girl softly smiled at her grandmother, also making Ella smile. And with our orange hero. My back is killing me. Ichigo grumbled at the pain on his back. Charmeleon too wasn't feeling all that great either, cause both trainer and Pokemon didn't took a wink of sleep the night, too busy helping Miss Ella. Saul. Both turned to see the same Pokemon again. Absol. Char. The Pokemon then walked towards with a very familiar basket before the Pokemon puts it in front of Ichigo. Isn't this my basket? Thanks for returning it. Charmeleon then tried to ask it why it helped them the night, Chair, but Absol just ignored him and turned to Ichigo. So, that's why you help us. Ichigo almost figured it out. Thanks, Ichigo thanked the Pokemon with a smile, and the Pokemon tilted its head to the side at Ichigo's words, then it shook its head. Saul, by all means, that wasn't the help I offer. I only did it to repay my debt. Ichigo and Charmeleon then looked at each other. Debt. Char? Saul, the food you had prepared, Absol growled. Ichigo then scratched his head. That wasn't really necessary, you know, but thanks for the help anyway. Ichigo then walked past the Pokemon with Charmeleon following him. Absol then watched the boy walk away, and from the eyes of the Pokemon one could see a dark aura surrounding Ichigo. Saul, I do not understand why such a human exists. Inside the Nimbasa Hotel. Ichigo then finally reached the door to the room they had first arrived. Finally, I can Ichigo then quickly ducked, dodging a small slipper after opening the door. What was that? Ichigo turned back inside to find a steaming brown-haired girl named Leaf. Don't you leave me, mister? Leaf growled at him with her cheeks puffed out, trying to look angry but only made her look really adorable. Knowing that he must have somehow angered her, Ichigo asked, What did I do this time? What did you do? What did you do? Ichigo flinched at her suddenly yelling. Let's see. She glares at him. 1. Last night when I went to your room, you three weren't there. 2. You three went out to explore without me. 3. You forgot about me. And girl began to ramble more and more. Ichigo just keep on listening and then asked, Where are the others? Leaf I twitch a bit. Well, if you're talking about Ash and Gary, they're over there. She pointed to the corner of the room. Ichigo turned to see both boys knock out with scratches on their face. Sheesh, she didn't go easy on them, did she? Ichigo then quickly grabbed the girl who was about to jump on him. Leaf, not now. I'm really tired. Yawn. Leaf struggled on his hold before she slumped on defeat. Fine, but you better explain yourself next time. She huffed her head to the side. Thanks. Ichigo smiled at her, which made her almost forget her anger about him. While with the two knockout boys, Owa, it stings. Did she really had to do that? Ash whines on the floor. Ugh, we really need to cut her nails, Gary suggested while trying to clean the scratches. Oh, Ichigo, you're back. Ichigo turned to see Delia with an apron, maybe fixing up breakfast for the kids. Ichigo was about to explain why he hadn't returned last night, but come on, we're about to have breakfast, and then you explain yourself. Ichigo then puts Leaf down and the two moves inside, but Gary and Ash already were on the seats eating. This hotel is really wonderful with a good set of kitchen utensils. Delia then gives them each a glass of milk tank milk and some healthy snacks. Now Ichigo, tell why you three didn't come back last night. Daisy told me, but I wanted to hear it from you, in detail, she asked in her motherly voice. Ichigo then spent the next few minutes explaining what had happened with Ash, adding some words to it. I see, you three did a very good thing, and I'm very proud of you, but also making me very worry for you three. Still, you three did a great job, she gave them a warm smile. And they did it without me, Leaf grumbles while placing her chin on the table. Oh Leaf, don't worry, you four can still have fun. Do I need to remind you that we're on vacation? And Leaf ears perked up before an idea lit inside her head. Where are the others? Ichigo looked around. Delia then began to clean up the mess. Daisy and Professor Oak already went to the resort, already starting their vacation. Oh, and Mimi is with them. Then why didn't you go with them? He asked. How could I, when my two boys haven't come back? She happily replied. Ichigo too happily smiled to himself at the feeling of being part of a family. Ichigo yawns again. I need to get some shut-eyes. Charmeleon too was getting drowsy. Wait, something's missing? Ash asked while slurping on his bowl of cereal. Ash then think really hard. Hey, where's Darkrai? Yeah, I haven't seen him the whole trip. Leaf too got confused. They all turned to Ichigo. Oh, I forget to tell you, Darkrai is in Sinnoh. What? They three kids shouted at him, while Ichigo put both fingers on his ears. Why did he leave? Were you being a bad trainer? Ash yelled out loud. The orange hair boy just looked at the raven hair boy overreaction. Mind telling me why he's in Sinnoh? Delia asked. Well, he said that he wants to visit the family he has back in the region, so I let him. And how was he able to go there anyway? Gary asked, confused how the Pokemon could have traveled all the way to another region. Well, he hijacks a plane leaving to Sinnoh. After saying it, they all felt relief. Now seeing that everyone is safe and sound, I'll be heading to the pool where the others are. You kids can do anything you want, but no more getting into trouble. Especially you, Ash, Delia tells the kids before exiting the room. "'Kay," the three kids replied. Ichigo was about to move to the beds until he finds himself outside the Nimbasa Mall. Why am I here again? He turned to Leaf, who just looked at the mall in G. To shop, of course, Leaf reminds him. And why did I even agree to this? He asked again before Leaf then explained why he has to. She even had a list of reasons. Okay, I get it, Ichigo slumps. At least I don't have to suffer alone. He then looked at Ash and Gary, who also weren't too eager to walk in. Let's go you three, and Gary stopped being such a slouch, Leaf orders them. The three then reluctantly follow her. And as you know, they all went to a clothing shop first suggested by Leaf. Why is she into this? She's 7-year-old for crying out loud, Ichigo grimly thought as he looked at the girl who was having a tug-of-war with another woman. Let go, brat. No, you let go, I saw it first. Ichigo just sighed. Charmeleon was lucky enough to quickly hit the hay before the girl declared her plans. Guys, help, Leaf shouted, requesting assistance from the three boys. Gary and Ash sighed to each other. All right, let's do this. Gary Ash pull up his sleeves. Gary nodded. Right, maybe if we finish this, we can do something fun. The two then ran towards the crowd of women and Leaf who were fighting over the sales. Ichigo with a board looked just stare at the brawl. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 9. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Strange and Kind 634 of them on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.